Hello, Virgo North Node. Welcome to your reading for January, February, March 2023. I'm Samara, your Feminist Alchemist. So the first thing I will do is remind you that these are general readings, so not all the messages will apply to you. Just take what strikes a chord with you and let the rest float away to whoever else in your Virgo North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you are feeling this reading, do give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that I may better connect to your energies and that the guides know that you would like to receive messages through this channel. Do also click the notification bell so that you know when I upload. These are only North Node readings, so it's not for any other placement in your chart, not your sun, moon, or rising sign. So if you're not 100% sure where your North Node is located, please do check on my website, which is linked in the description box, where there is a list of dates and the corresponding placement of the North Node on those dates. You could also run your birth chart if you would like a full picture. Welcome if this is your first time to one of my North Node readings. I use a spread that was given to me by my guides. There are several sections to this reading, each of which I will timestamp in the description box so that you can either return to this reading if you don't finish it in one sitting, or if you just want to refer back to it in the next 3 months, then that will facilitate you getting to the section that you are interested in hearing again. We do the universal energies, which are the big overarching themes in your life over the next 3 months. Then we have 5D energy, which is your higher self, future self, beckoning to you what they would like you to, what they feel you need to look at in order to facilitate your expansion at this time. Then we have the 3D, which is what's going on in your physical reality that's appearing as opportunities for growth and expansion. We ask for guidance on how to bridge the 3D and the 5D. And then I will look at what wants to come through the portal of your heart. So this is, in that section, I do a different topic every reading. So it could be karma, it could be past lives, it could be multidimensionality. But in this case, the guides wanted me to focus on what wants to come through the portal of your heart for your heart's expansion and expression in this physical realm. And then I will pull 2 final oracles for you. And that is that. Do also note I am offering a limited number of personal readings for 2023. That is also linked in the description box with a discount code for the 2023 readings. So the discount code goes until January 31st. All right. Without further ado, let's get started. Virgo North Node on your universal energies. Take flight. Voice. Rejuvenation. And prayers. I find it very nice that you got prayers and voice. Oh, it's a very different energy than the rest of the signs, Virgo. So what I'm getting for you is the potential for a lot to take off in this next phase of your life. I feel you are now emerging from a phase that may have felt very chaotic like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. A lot of back and forth, a lot of going back to correct. I feel that you've had a trying time, even if you haven't made anyone, like, even if from the outside you look very cool, calm, and collected. I feel that you've had a rough go of it the last year or 2 or 3, right? A lot of past stuff coming to the surface to be cleared. I feel, though, that there's a chance for a lot of clarity to come through what you have experienced the last few years. I feel there is an opportunity for clarity in your voice to develop. That clarity will develop through you tending to your spirit and revitalizing and rejuvenating yourself. Taking care of your health, taking care of your physical health, emotional health, taking care of your home. And there has to be a balance between that and also running yourself ragged. Like, if you need rest, just rest and enjoy the rest and allow yourself to rest. That is completely valid. Yeah, prayers. This can be song, it could be affirmations, it could be mantras, it could be standard religious prayers. But take that as it resonates. But at the root of it, it's about speaking your wishes into the ether, like putting your wishes out there, your desires out there. I feel the next 3 months is a time when a lot of your prayers will be answered. So if you have any edits to make, then make them quickly. And also be aware of, you don't constantly need to ask. You need to ask and then also believe that it will come about, and watch and receive the direction, because they want you to also understand that you don't say a prayer and then sit on your couch and wait for it to rain money or wait for the perfect partner to ring your doorbell, right? You're also, once you've made the prayer, you're also guided into action, taking flight. You have to put yourself out there and into situations that you have to give the universe a canvas or the ability to reach you. And so this rejuvenation may also be something where you actually join a gym, a spa, a class, a running club, They're showing me someone going regularly to like a yoga kind of temple for morning chanting. I forget what they call it. It starts with an S. But yes. So those type of... Your prayers may not just be individual. For some of you, I feel that you're being called to add your voice to bigger prayers like that are for all of humanity. A community of well-wishers, if you will. And once again, it may not be connected to anything that's a formal religion, but for some of you, it may very well be like you're being called back to the religion that you were raised in, because you now have a different perspective or a different way of utilizing that energy. I'm going to move to your 5D cards now. So we have presence, expression, okay, the one here, change, duality, sacral chakra. Sorry, I got that card exactly in the same position for the last sign I just read for. So. And I feel something coming. I think this one. Coherence. Yeah. I'm asking if they want this card. They do. Romantic love. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, they want me to show belief. Do you want it out? Yeah. Okay. Belief. Interesting. Interesting indeed. There's something interesting happening here. Okay. Okay, with presence, I feel that there is a call for you to stand up and be heard. The energy of presence supports our ability to focus our full attention and stay in the here and now. I feel that there's an energy of putting off expressing your true self or your opinion as if, like, it's okay to divide yourself. Which may have helped you achieve certain things up to now. It's not like it hasn't served you in the past, but right now I feel that your voice, your opinion, your expression is necessary, like is needed in some of the spheres you are involved in. I also feel for some of you who are in a relationship that there's too much energy focused on, you're too complacent with your partner, is what they're giving me. It's like, as in your partner, you're never rocking the boat somehow. Now, this could be you, this could also be your partner, but this is for those of you in a relationship. I feel that there's some complacency between, like, in your relationship, which is causing it to stagnate some. And there is the potential for there to be more, to just be more, like for both people to become more of themselves. And for that to be a place where you both grow from in the next 3 months. For those of you not in a relationship, I feel that there needs to be more places. You need more places in life to express yourself. Now, this also applies to you, those of you in a relationship. But generally, more places where you express yourself. So now this doesn't have to be creative expression. It's just the expression of what you truly think and feel, the expression of your emotions. So you may on a day-to-day have a very rigid and regulated interactions socially, especially if you find yourself, like they showed me someone serving at a fast food counter, like that kind of customer service where you always have to smile, you always have to, like, yes, the interactions may be pleasant, but are they real is the question, right? And I feel that your spirit is calling for more real. I'm going to go to this card, change. The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Oh, yes. So if your world has seemingly been kind of falling apart the last couple of years, because remember at the beginning I was feeling all types of, you've had some difficult times and some challenging situations. Some of it is actually because you really need to, like, your outer world is shifting to make room for the changes in your inner world. You need more places to express yourself, your true self. Like both of these cards with change and duality, you have very similar images, and then you also have very similar words. Like both of them talk about gracefully flowing. This one, gracefully dance. This is gracefully flow with the everlasting movement among all opposites. Yeah. I feel you're being challenged to drop some judgments of how life should be or how people should be and how things should be. I'm quote unquoting here. You're being called to drop your shoulds because part of the discord in your life is trying to get you to discover more about the nature of yourself, and more about your own nature and about the nature of the world that you create through your emotional state is what's coming through mostly and at this time. With the sacral chakra, once again, the word flow comes out here. It says, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Creative power, once again, expression, which I said doesn't have to be creative, but when I say not creative, I mean you don't have to go paint a landscape. However, everything that you express, the use of your voice, your prayers, your affirmations, your thoughts are all creating a reality. And I feel that if you've been in a lot of go, trying to fix your creations, trying to intellectualize your creations, doing paperwork, dealing with an estate if someone passed away recently or in the past 2-3 years, that's a big one. If you're dealing with wills and division of assets, divorce, also I feel that the rejuvenation and in this also has to deal with getting down to, like, settling down enough to get down to the root of what it is you want to create. When I look at these 3 cards here, coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind. Yes, duality. For an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. And then belief. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. So there's a lot going on here. And I feel that there's some very specific situations here. So and 2 of the very specific situations are if someone has passed on, then you're dealing with their will or their estate. And the end of a long-term relationship. And I want to give it to you in a general for people who are not experiencing those 2 things. But if you are experiencing one of those 2 things, you can listen a little bit more intently here. So it's necessary for you in the next 3 months to not intellectualize everything you want, but bring more of your soul's desire. I'm actually even feeling like it's a very particular part of your soul. It feels very, because even on the bottom of the deck, once again, there was root chakra. And before there was belief, and I pulled it out, and then bottom of the underneath that card is root chakra, and then you have sacral chakra. So I feel that there is also a sexual energy rejuvenation going on for you, Virgo North Node, and that is sexual energy is essentially creative energy, right? Life force, creative force, and desire, bringing thoughts and ideas from the unseen realms into the physical realm, literally, like whether you're male or female, a birthing energy, bringing from the etheric realms into the physical. And I feel that has been a heavily intellectual process for you the last 2-3 years. Possibly because the feelings were too much to feel. So I feel that in the next 3 months, picking yourself up and revitalizing your not so intellectual side. Your intuitive side, your heart, your sensuality is going to be important for you. And that sexual, sensual energy also pulls us into the present moment. I feel a necessity for there to be a revival of you feeling, now you didn't get the self-worth card, or worthy card, but you do have a card that speaks of self-worth. And I feel that you are to connect with your innate attractiveness. because I'm feeling a self-worth built on, they're built more from the mind than from the heart. And the one that's built from the mind, I don't want to say it's more fragile, but intellectualization is something that you can have a discussion over, but the heart, the nature of the energy within you is not really a discussion, right? It is. It is what it is. It can change, but it's less of a negotiation, if you will. And especially when that is rooted or connected to your higher self and a higher purpose, a sense of divinity, then that is also, non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable, right? Do you want to go more? No, they want to see the 3D. So we're going to the 3D. We're going to get more clarity in each level of this reading, each section of this reading. The High Priestess. I also have a feeling that there's been some intellectualization out of valuing yourself fully. Anyway, let me go with the 3D. 3D. We have the Devil in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot to be said in this corner. Oh, no, they want to move this down. Knight of Pentacles. And the Five of Cups in reverse. So interesting here that the High Priestess is your only upright card here, but I feel you needing, once again, it's like the High Priestess is an intuitive master, if you will. Alignment. And they're showing me like this star here. It's just like this knowing of specialness, uniqueness, divinity, light, being. And I feel you're going to be challenged to connect to that place and stay connected to that place over the next 3 months. So she's also about wisdom. Now, the High Priestess, as we said, as I usually say, is when there's a gender on the card, it's about the energy and not about actual gender. And sorry, actually this had come to me earlier while I was shuffling and I didn't say it out loud. Virgo, Virgin, which has come to mean someone who has not had sex, but really is, I'm actually going to look it up in detail, like the root of the word, but the way I understood it, as I learned that Virgin originally meant someone who is whole amongst them, like unto themselves, whole unto themselves. And like if you just look at the confidence and the knowing, the inner knowing, I feel that that will be a challenge for you in the next 3 months, to stand in your inner knowing of who you are, what you want to build, what you want to, how you want to live in the world, how you want to exist in the world. And the High Priestess does not do intellectual negotiation. She's keeper of the mysteries. She's mystical knowledge. She's wisdom of the ages. So I don't want to say that she doesn't go with the flow, but she definitely is very rooted in the wisdom, like timeless wisdom, the wisdom of all times, right? So there's also a very secure feeling of, nope, this is what I'm supposed to do now. It's this day of the week or this day of the year, and this is what happens. And this next 7 years of life, the best way for me to utilize my energy in collaboration with the universe is to live this way and to be here in this spot. Like, she's also getting her information from her higher self and her intuition, and feels very rooted in that. So that's going to be interesting for you in the next 3 months. The Devil in reverse, I do feel that there is and will be some challenges to see where you keep yourself stuck, keep your energy stuck. I feel that even if you've lost a family member in the last 3 years, there is a reflection of your romantic relationships that is going to happen. You may see reflections of your parental relationships, for example, in your romantic relationships, reflections of your relationship with the person that passed on. If the person has not passed on, still within your romantic relationships, I feel that there's a lot to be learned about your head and your heart working together. Some of you have really been through the ringer in romance the past few years. Like, it's been quite a challenge. And it's also because you may not have been accurately expressing, or they want me to say that for some of you, they're not trying to blame you for how things went. Right? Especially if you really, like, someone really crossed a line with you and was fairly horrible to you. They do, though, want you to take a lesson with you regardless, like with zero judgment, that you must speak your truth into being. And your truth is worth speaking, needs to be spoken. So if you were gaslighted in your last relationship, someone speaking you out of your emotions and invalidating your emotions, that is something that you will be healing over the next 3 months with this rejuvenation and the sacral chakra down here as well. Because the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I feel some of you will have This energy is very stubborn, and there's some cord cutting to be done. So there is a connection to someone specifically in your sacral chakra area, so you may want to look into that if you are so inclined. You could also use your prayers and affirmations to bring that, like to dissolve that connection. Because here I feel a lot of manipulation. And I feel mostly like just stagnant energy, protective energy. This Knight of Pentacles could be a person, but it could also be an energy that built up over time with you dealing with certain types of people. That now feels the need, that you now feel the need to, let's say, be very cognizant of your emotions and to almost repress them, if you will. Yes, and the Five of Cups in reverse. In the upright, this is one of my least favorite cards to get, but in reverse, I feel that, moving on from heartache, for sure. But there needs to be some work done in terms of forgiveness, especially with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Cups in reverse coming up. And you have change and duality. There's a need to embrace the change. There's a need to change your perspective on things. I feel the next 3 months you're going to be some of your fundamental beliefs may be challenged. The stories you tell yourself about what happened in certain relationships, there's forgiveness that needs to happen as well. I feel one of your biggest challenges is going to be moving from the intellectual stories that you tell yourself, that you've been telling yourself, the intellectualizations of some of your past experiences, and actually looking at them through the lens of your emotions instead. Not to throw out the intellectual side, but you need to balance the two more. And there may be some stubbornness on your part because there's part of your identity that's very connected to how you've intellectualized these past experiences. I am moving to the bridging of the 3D and the 5D now, and your first card is the Empress, which is lovely, right on the High Priestess. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles, again, but in the upright. So, which is always very nice. And on the bottom, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So I really feel in the next 3 months, there's going to be a grand wrapping up of a chapter. I put these cards the wrong way, but that's fine. I'm supposed to go this way, but I went this way. So, but they say it's fine. It is, my instinct took it the way it's supposed to go. So, with the Empress, I feel that you are to use your intuition to act, I don't want to use the word act as if like you're pretending to be someone else, but to negotiate your actions, right? To be as the inspiration for your actions. Your intuition should inspire your actions. there's a need to bring your emotional intelligence grounded into the present moment. Your physical actions should be divinely inspired by the divine feminine at this time. Once again, it's equal for males or females or neutral beings, all you beings out there. But this is about intuition, inner knowing, emotional intelligence, accepting how you feel and expressing how you feel, and that being all fine, right? And it has to be accepted by you first and foremost. Like if you are already feeling questionable about opening yourself up in that way, then you'll be more susceptible if there is resistance or judgment from other people. And that's why, I'm going to go this way. That's why it's important for you to... So the Knight of Pentacles in the upright is a very steady, steadfast, grounded individual. And we have here divine masculine energy, right? So you don't have to be in a rush to establish these changes, right? It's going to be a slow and steady effort. Every day you're going to make an effort, whether big or small, right? And part of that effort is your affirmations, prayers, forgiveness, work. I feel that it's very important that you utilize your voice to release the old and bring in the new. I feel that that's super important for you in the next 3 months. Because what I'm feeling, because I'm having difficulty expressing what I'm feeling, I feel that it's deeply embedded in you, what you need to release. And you need, I don't want to make it sound like a dire situation, but you need all the help you can get. The help is there, so why not use it, right? And you'll be surprised what, morning affirmations and evening affirmations, or morning prayers and evening prayers, listening to meditations, guided meditations, or positive, inspirational music can do for you when you make that a part of your routine and consciously engage with those practices. So you're being encouraged to take steps daily. It doesn't have to be one sweeping. It's actually better if it's not one sweeping, dramatic change. It should be a day-to-day exploration, day-to-day actions that just change how you go about your daily life. And before you know it, at the end of the 3 months, your life has the potential to look very different, in a positive way, very different than how it looks right now. And we have the 6 of Swords. Yes, pack it all up, get in the boat, and move on to greener pastures. Go exploring. It is important for you to explore your emotional nature. And it's important for you to understand, seek new ways of understanding yourself as well. Because, the Swords always has to do with thoughts, perceptions, intellectualizations, the rational mind. And I feel that it's time for you to expand your way of thinking. I feel that your intellectual mind will contribute to your emotional investigations of yourself. I see some of you going into the library and actually reading books on like intuition, emotional intelligence, how the mind affects the body. I see some of you approaching that emotional growth in an intellectual way. Also not a bad thing, because you have duality here flowing through between what seems to be opposite, right? But there are a lot of books written on emotions and emotional intelligence and processing emotions and forgiveness, for example. So don't shy away from opening your mind to new perspectives through reading, audiobooks, learning, and also appreciate that your mind, you have two cards that talk about using kind of this, here's opposites, and here with coherency, this is the mind and the heart. There is something for you, Virgo North Node, in unifying your heart and your mind, your intellect and your emotions in the next 3 months. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel here you do need to also embrace that you have many, many opportunities available to you. And I feel you need to wipe the slate clean a little bit and not keep score anymore of who did what in your past relationships, friendships, work relationships. This is falling on romantic relationships. We're going to put that at the top of the list of what needs to be investigated. But I feel that this keeping score thing may be something for you, Virgo North Node. Holding on to regrets, holding grudges, and possibly they're saying like learning the wrong lessons, like thinking that you've learned a lesson, but you haven't. Because how you are assessing the situation is too simple. It's too superficial, is what they're saying. Like they're showing me a very specific situation. I'm not going to, and it was a friend of mine who, it was always someone else's fault. She complained a lot about not finding the right partner, but the reality was that she had a checklist, and on her checklist, some of the criteria was he needs to make 6 figures and have a job that I can brag about. So you meet a very lovely person who makes, 6 figures, but maybe it's in, no one wants to build anything anymore. Right? Maybe it's in a trade like an electrician or whatever, but she felt like that would be embarrassing to, at a business function, to introduce to her executive white-collar type colleagues. So what is the point I'm getting to here? The point is sometimes you need to see how your mindset is what's affecting the outcome of, relationships. and how you are cutting yourself short or someone else short by not getting to the true heart of what it is that you want to feel good, to feel loved and supported in a relationship. So don't shoot the messenger. This is what's coming out. And it's, right, the devil in reverse, not seeing what it is that you contribute to the situation. And this particular Seven of Pentacles is, has an abacus here, keeping score. And the pentacles are, I never really read them as superficiality, but this one is coming through very strongly as superficiality. And with the fact that we're feeling the disconnect between the heart and the mind, where are your beliefs of worthiness grounded? Are they in your heart and in your gifts and talents as an innate, divine being? And romantic love is there, so I have to read it as it is, as it's coming through for me. Yeah, so the Seven of Pentacles is also saying to me that you need to be aware of how you weigh your options, how you assess your options, not just in relationships, but generally. And there needs to be more connection between your heart and your emotional desires in how you assess your options. And just to wrap it up again, and some of the lessons that you need to take with you in the next 3 months is seeing how that may have affected the outcome in your past relationships, or how that is affecting your current relationship. Even if you're not seeking a relationship, there's a lot to learn from our relationships, our most intimate relationships. All right, let's go to your final oracles. Sacred Temple. I've never seen that card before. And this, as many times as I've used this deck. And one more oracle. Okay, 2 more. The Initiation, Rite of Passage, Crossing the Threshold. That's going to go in the middle. And then we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. All right. So I'm just going to read straight from the guidebooks for these. Okay, Sacred Temple. You have pulled this card to guide you back toward the path of self-respect and self-validation, to connect to your physical body and to feel the power radiating from your skin. You are the goddess and your body the temple. Your body is a record of every ancestor who walked before you. By honoring yourself, you are also honoring thousands of years of ancestral heritage, pride, and power. Adorn your body as if you are preparing an altar. Take time to pamper yourself with a long bath and wear clothing that makes you feel beautiful. As you care for your physical form, silence your inner critic, the voice that compares your body to others and puts you down, and speak to yourself as if you are the powerful goddess, capable of moving mountains. Know that you are worthy of reverence and of care, and your value is intrinsic. Honor the body in every curve, the strength in every scar. Honor the beauty in every curve, the strength in every scar, and the worthiness inside with your words and thoughts. Share yourself only with those who will do the same. All right, so affirmations came up in there as well. It's interesting. I didn't feel a lot about the body as we were going through this, except for in the sacral chakra and the affirmations. So take that card as it resonates. Okay, I'm just going to say take that card as it resonates. I'm going to leave that there. And then the initiation. Virgo. There we are. Some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but are breathtakingly beautiful on the inside. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred. But only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are right now. You are being tested, initiated, because you are headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, of meaning. Initiations, like rites of passage, mark the shift from one age to the next and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, or devastation. But it is through the seeming hardship that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take the sacred voyage into more of who we are and who we came here to be. It can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever before. If you are in the middle of an initiation right now, you will get through it, and one day soon, you will bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. And you are going somewhere sacred. It will be worth it, and you're closer than you think. And one more, the Age of Light. And these two cards are really working together, I feel. The cracking open to this wonderful light. Mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decided to incarnate in the middle of it. There is no mistake that you are supposed to be here at this time of great change. If you ever feel unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that have breathed through you in this life. You are also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Your soul has many facets. Imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is 1,000,000 times more intricate than that. If you put together all of the fingerprints of all of the people you have been, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you are. You came in with a clear soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is part of you. This is the part of you that longs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward, that is ready to emerge. This is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth, be seen, and rise. Okay, so I will leave that as it resonates with you. And I hope that there was some good advice in there for you, Virgo North Node. I'm in the midst of doing a kind of a podcast series called Ascension Messages, which has messages from different galactic collectives, star families out there. And then I will do another North Node reading in a few months. So I'm actually not 100% sure how I'm going to do the readings in 2023. I'm meditating on that now. So I wish you all the best. And until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.